Different humanoid systems are present within active working environments. Industrial spaces, factory systems, logistics operations. Each system operates within a defined role. Tasks differ, conditions differ, outcomes do not align. Across the sequence, multiple systems are observed. Each remains within an ongoing process. Each continues its assigned function. The structure remains consistent. The execution does not. Each system operates within its environment. Performance shifts within the same setting. Some systems maintain continuous output. Some adjust during operation. Some hold stability under repeated cycles. The form remains similar across systems. The results do not follow the same pattern. Multiple systems are presented, each within real working conditions. The sequence begins. Each system continues within its role. The outcome follows no single path. A humanoid robot is already operating inside a BMW production line. Not isolated, not separated, integrated into the system. The signal activates. A cycle begins. A component is lifted from a fixed position, aligned within tolerance, placed into sequence. The next unit arrives without delay. The interval remains constant. Motion continues without pause. Each action resolves into the next. No excess movement. No visible correction. The system maintains alignment across cycles. Timing remains exact. External conditions shift. Throughput increases. Load varies. Execution continues. Without resistance. A new component enters the line. Different dimensions. Same precision. Placement remains accurate. The sequence holds. There is no hesitation before contact. No delay after release. Across multiple cycles, the pattern stabilizes. Maintained. The surrounding line accelerates. Spacing compresses. The system remains within its timing window. No drift is introduced. Each completed cycle returns to origin. Reset is immediate. The process repeats under continuous operation, cycle after cycle. The system sustains output across duration. Over time, accumulation becomes visible. Volume increases. The system remains fixed within its role. Execution continues unchanged. The line adapts. The system does not. The previous system continues within its assigned role. The structure holds. The process flows without interruption. A new system enters. Apollo humanoid robot, operating within a Mercedes-Benz production environment. Production runs in parallel. Execution differs. The role is familiar. The environment is not. Movement begins in a distinct sequence. The system aligns with incoming components. Positions are secured. Components advance along structured paths. The system integrates with the line. Actions unfold in order. Each motion is contained. Each step completes before the next begins. Overlap is absent. The cycle repeats under production conditions. Input continues. Output follows. Timing remains precise. The system holds its station. The process circulates around it. The environment imposes constant demand. The system responds within limits. Deviation does not occur. Variations emerge across cycles. Subtle differences in handling. Minor shifts in timing. The system progresses through each cycle. Repetition persists. The structure remains. The line advances. The system stays within it. Each task completes in sequence. Across repeated cycles, output accumulates. The system operates within its framework. No expansion of role is observed. No reduction in activity occurs. Function remains constant. The system remains within the automotive environment. The process continues. The sequence endures. Variations linger quietly. A difference takes shape. Subtle, contained, inevitable. A system is introduced within a maintenance environment. Agile one humanoid robot, operating within a structured industrial setting. The role differs. The environment remains controlled. Movement begins within a technical sequence. The system approaches a defined position. Alignment is established. Interaction begins within fixed parameters. Tools are positioned. Components are accessed. The system engages with mechanical structures. Actions follow measured steps. No excess movement is introduced. The process unfolds within set constraints. Each motion completes before the next begins. Adjustment occurs within limits. Position is refined. Placement is corrected. The system continues through the sequence. Task by task. Step by step. External conditions remain steady. The system operates within those conditions. Across repeated actions, the pattern holds. Repetition continues. Precision remains. The environment presents structured demands. The system responds within its role. No deviation is introduced. Movement remains controlled. Timing remains consistent. Execution follows the same path. The system remains within the maintenance function. The process continues. The role does not change. Across cycles, the activity persists. Work is sustained over time. Each action resolves into the next. The sequence continues without interruption. The system remains active within its environment. The structure holds. The function continues. And within this role, a different kind of capability is observed. Not in speed, not in volume, but in execution. A new system appears within a manufacturing environment. Unitree humanoid robot, operating within a structured production setting. The role is defined. The process is continuous. Execution begins within assigned tasks. Movement follows controlled pathways. Position aligns with operational requirements. Handling occurs within set parameters. Components enter defined positions. Actions resolve in sequence. Timing remains consistent. Each motion is measured. Each step completes without excess. No correction is visible. The system maintains alignment across cycles. Accuracy persists under repeated execution. Control remains exact. Input remains stable. Output follows expected flow. No deviation is introduced. The environment sustains demand. The system responds within its role. Execution remains contained. Repetition reinforces structure. Cycles return with minimal variation. The process holds its form. Across extended operation, performance persists. Output accumulates. Efficiency remains consistent. The system continues within defined boundaries. No expansion of role is observed. No reduction occurs. The structure remains unchanged. The sequence repeats. Execution follows established paths. And within the system, a familiar condition appears. Not in movement, not in precision, but in limitation. The system performs, but does not extend beyond its design. A new system is introduced within an active industrial setting. Walker S, operating within a structured workflow. Uptech Robotics. Systems remain active around it. The role is defined. The environment is controlled. Movement begins within a set sequence. The system aligns with incoming tasks. Position is secured. Objects enter the working range. Handling begins. Actions follow in order. Each motion is measured. Each step completes before the next begins. No overlap occurs. The system maintains its place within the line. Timing remains consistent. The process moves around it. Input remains steady. Output follows the same path. No divergence appears. Across repeated cycles, execution holds. The same sequence returns. The same structure persists. The system continues within its assigned role. No expansion is observed. No reduction occurs. The environment sustains demand. The system responds within limits. Execution remains contained. Variation appears across cycles. Minor shifts in handling. Subtle changes in timing. The system proceeds through each sequence. Repetition persists. The structure holds. The process advances. The system stays within it. Each action completes within the same frame. Across time, output accumulates. Cycles extend without interruption. The system remains within the industrial environment. The role holds. The sequence continues. And within this system, a familiar pattern appears. Not in design, not in structure, but in execution. And this time, it does not stand alone. A new system appears within a controlled environment. Boston Dynamics. Operations remain active around it. The setting is contained. The role is not fixed. Movement begins without a defined sequence. Position is established, then shifts. The system engages with open space. No structured line is present. No continuous flow surrounds it. Actions occur in isolation. Each motion stands on its own. No repeating cycle is enforced. Balance is maintained through transition. Steps adjust between positions. Stability holds, then shifts again. The system continues across varied movement. Direction changes. Pace changes. Form adjusts. There is no fixed path. No returning sequence. No repeated cycle. Each action completes independently. The next does not follow the same pattern. No expectation carries forward. The environment does not demand repetition. The system moves without sustained throughput. No accumulation is required. Variation is constant. Structure is absent. Consistency does not form. The system continues within this condition. Movement remains active. The sequence does not settle. Across time, no pattern holds. No cycle repeats. No structure stabilizes. The system remains within the environment, unbound to a fixed role, unbound to a fixed process. Freedom persists within motion. Constraint does not define it. Direction emerges, then dissolves. And within that absence, a different limitation appears. Not in movement, not in control, but in continuity. And without continuity, nothing carries forward. a familiar system appears again. Apollo humanoid robot, now within a logistics environment. The operational context shifts. Demand expands beyond a single flow. Multiple inputs are introduced simultaneously. Objects arrive from distributed points. Paths intersect within shared space. Intervals vary without fixed timing. The system repositions continuously. Movement extends across a wider range. Coverage increases beyond a fixed station. Handling begins across non-uniform inputs. Dimensions differ. Placement varies. Orientation is not consistent. Sequence is not predefined. Order adjusts dynamically. Execution continues within that variation. Motion spans across distance. Return paths are not immediate. Position does not remain anchored. The system engages with variable flow conditions. Each action aligns with incoming state. Adjustment occurs in real time. Repetition does not retain identical structure. Cycles do not resolve into the same pattern. Continuity is not sequence-based. The environment introduces sustained variability. Load shifts across intervals. Throughput does not remain constant. The system responds within operational limits. Execution adapts without full restructuring. Stability is maintained within motion. Across extended operation, activity persists. Movement distributes across space. Time does not enforce uniform cycles. The system remains active within the environment, not restricted to a single position, not confined to a single function. Variation continues without stabilization. Structure does not consolidate. Pattern does not fully emerge. Across multiple sequences, alignment is maintained. Accuracy persists under changing inputs. Control is retained within adjustment. The system continues within expanded demand. Execution extends across tasks. No singular process defines operation. And within that expansion, a different capability becomes evident. Not in repetition, not in fixed sequencing, but in adaptation. Adaptation remains within bounds. It does not extend beyond defined limits. The system adjusts, but does not evolve beyond its scope. A new system appears. Hilux robot, operating within a logistics environment. The workflow moves continuously. Items pass through predefined positions. Actions follow in precise sequence. Movement extends across operational range. Execution adapts to variations in input. Position adjusts subtly to maintain alignment. Each motion resolves before the next begins. Timing remains exact. No deviation occurs. The system engages with incoming flow. Each action aligns with operational constraints. Adjustment occurs in real time. Repetition does not enforce itself. Cycles retain variation. Continuity exists without exact replication. Precision persists across extended operation. Execution remains controlled. Output accumulates over time. The system maintains functional boundaries. Adaptation occurs within defined limits. Efficiency is sustained without external intervention. Through each sequence, the workflow stabilizes. Performance continues under continuous demand. The system remains active within the environment. Not in randomness, not in excess, but in operational mastery. Alignment holds. Control persists. Execution adapts without compromise. Variation exists within structure. Cycles continue. Output follows an optimized path. And within this environment, a different capability emerges. Not in repetition, not in fixed sequencing, but in adaptation. Adaptation remains contained. Control is sustained. Execution continues without interruption. A new system appears within a manufacturing environment. Agibot G2, operating within a structured production setting. The role is defined. The process is controlled. Execution begins within assigned tasks. Movement follows established pathways. Position aligns with operational requirements. Handling occurs within set parameters. Components enter defined positions. Actions resolve in sequence. Timing remains consistent. Each motion is measured. Each step completes without excess. No correction is introduced. The system maintains alignment across cycles. Accuracy persists under repeated execution. Control remains stable. Input remains consistent. Output follows expected flow. No variation is introduced. The environment sustains continuous demand. The system responds within its role. Execution remains contained. Repetition reinforces structure. Cycles return in identical form. The process holds its pattern. Across extended operation, performance persists. Output accumulates. Efficiency remains constant. The system continues within defined boundaries. No expansion of role is observed. No deviation occurs. The structure remains unchanged. The sequence repeats. Execution follows established paths. And within this system, a subtle condition appears. Not in movement, not in precision, but in transition. The system performs within structure, yet does not fully adapt beyond it. Systems evolve. Environments change. Capabilities expand. But across every system, a boundary remains. Not always visible, not always defined, but always present. And until that boundary shifts, the system remains. Within it,